In every video I've made so far, I've displayed some type of emotion that the people like yourself can relate to. You know, common, simple, calm ones like rage, fury, anger. Okay, I might be a little bit of a crash out sometimes, but the point I want to make is that we all feel certain types of emotions. It's what makes us human, man. And when it comes to certain characters that we enjoy to see and grow to love, getting killed off in TV shows, games, and movies, it leaves you heartbroken. Character deaths are something that leave all of us in a state of grief. It's like somebody close to us actually died. From the moment we're introduced to these guys at the beginning of the stories, we see them grow, develop, become better, and even bond with them. And then to eventually see them die is something that breaks me every time, and I hate it. And today, guys and gals, I wanted to go over some of the most saddest, most tragic, most heavy character deaths that truly made me feel. And without any more yapping, let's get into it, man. Beginning with the main man himself, Mr. Walter Hartwell White. Now, I know, you're probably thinking, he's evil. And yeah, it doesn't change anything. Mr. White is still kind of a dickhead. If you've seen the whole of Breaking Bad, you know the type of timing this guy was on. He was greedy. But despite all the bad Mr. White has done, that doesn't change the fact that his death was a tragedy, man. Mr. White from the beginning of Breaking Bad seems somewhat reasonable for why he got into selling that blue crystal in the first place. He was just in it so he could get enough money to help provide for Skylar and Walt Jr. since, you know, cancer. And with Walter even being too broke himself to afford his own treatment, it's like he had no other alternative. His health insurance was whack. Then when him and Jesse actually started moving in the meth world, the guys they started selling to were like 50 times worse than Walter. Tuco was just a crazy crackhead who literally killed his own henchmen after using that blue crystal. Then kidnapped Walter and Jesse to try and ship them off to Mexico to start dealing. Yeah, Mexico. Then after they shot Tuco and escaped, the next guy they got into business with was Gustavo. And Gustavo tried to kill this guy after he defended Jesse, because Jesse wanted to get at Gustavo's henchman who killed a kid. Jesse's girlfriend's kid. They're diabolical. But in terms of why Gustavo wanted to kill Walter, I can kind of understand his perspective on it. The guy has a fed brother-in-law, man. If I was Gustavo, I probably would have killed him already. Snitch. But in all seriousness, I can understand why Gus decided to try to kill him. Walter showed constantly that he was a liability. He worked so much better with Gale than he did Jesse that them two together could have just kept making that sweet, sweet blue crystal and make millions. But in his own twisted, nefarious, evil, corrupt way, Mr. White had some love for Jesse. That's the only reason that could explain his irrational behavior to protect him often. And personally, that's why I think in future that Mr. White's death is tragic. Even though he's a greedy bastard who only kept selling meth because he got addicted to that shit, it doesn't change that the reason why he first got into it was to protect and provide for his family. I mean, near the end of the show, after Mr. White does a bunch of heinous shit like kill Gustavo, kill Mike, which pissed me the hell off, man. Oh my god, it was so unnecessary. It was stupid. And murked Jack and his gang for what they did to Hank and to set Jesse free, it gives him some redemption. Maybe not enough to fully feel sad for him, but enough to understand he wanted to make a good change. And him leaving his cabin in the woods, coming back to Albuquerque, and decided to come and finesse everyone who messed with him and free Jesse is commitment. He even admitted to Skylar he liked doing it. Not that it was for his family, but he just liked selling that crystal, man. And it's admirable to me to see how he could do that. It's valid. He even got the Bennett keys to transfer all the drug money to his kids. So it's not like it was for nothing anyway. I'm finna buy a Ferrari with that shit. I'm rich. And at the end of the show, when they just play the scene of him in the meth lab with the music and he dies to the gunshot wound, it made me feel sad, bro. Don't get me wrong, again, he's evil. I'm not disputing that. Like, you remember what he let happen to Jesse's girlfriend. The guy is kind of crazy. But I think me and all Breaking Bad fans can admit, he's definitely not the worst person in the show. The worst guy to me is Todd. I hate Todd. I hate him. I would shoot that guy, man. He sucks. But I did think that Walter dying in a meth lab was so sentimental and real, because he died in the place he loved to be in the most. It was moving, man. And while on the topic of Breaking Bad characters and their deaths, if you know, you know, Nacho Varga's death from Better Call Saul is actually tragic as shit. The difference between this guy and Walter is that Nacho had to die. He literally had to die, man. He knew he was gonna die and he just accepted it. He didn't do nothing about it. He didn't run away. He didn't even try to cross the country like Walter and Jesse did. He literally got to a phone call with Mike and Gus, asked Mike to look after his dad for him, and just went, yeah, and agreed to it, and just took himself out. The fact that Nacho is half the reason why Gus was still alive to live to be a part of Breaking Bad just made him look like a bitch. This and the stupid amount of plot armor he had to kill Lalo. Like, Gus was shooting bullets in the dark and somehow killed him. That's some stupid shit, man. It's so dumb. But Nacho's death kind of gives some sense as to why Mike could be somewhat close with Jesse. Maybe he sees a bit of Nacho in Jesse. I was genuinely so upset when I saw Nacho die. I viewed him as a victim. The Salamanca family are all crazy. See, Lalo? You lucky Lala wasn't in Breaking Bad. Like, you know the type of characters who smile a lot and then they keep smiling while trying to kill you? Yeah, he's one of those. He's evil. Howard Hamlin was also another tragic death in this series. He died for no flipping reason. Jimmy and Kim were complete assholes to him. I mean, Kim had kind of a reason because Howard was a bitch to her, but Jimmy, no good reason. He was just a dickhead. He trolled him, tried to make him look like he was cheating on his wife and that he was obsessed with drugs, tried to drag his name down and ruined him. Just for Howard to go to his apartment to try and check him on his behavior, and then Lalo just deleted this guy out of existence. If it wasn't for Jimmy being a complete dick to the guy, then he would have never been in that situation in the beginning. It's so sad. Throughout that whole show, you think Howard is a complete ass-wipe nepo baby who just hates Jimmy for no reason. Then you come to find out that it was Jimmy's brother trying to keep him out of being a lawyer in the first place. And even with that knowledge, Jimmy still came at Howard. You knew your brother was pulling the strings and you still don't want to accept that. Waste, man. Breaking Bad deaths just hit, man. There's something else. They make you feel a certain type of way. If I could cry, I would cry at them, man. They're so sad. But to pivot off this, anime deaths gotta be up there too. Starting off with Itachi from Naruto. Now, I've already spoken about Itachi in another video, but his death is genuinely sad. After we learn the truth of why Itachi massacred the entire Uchiha clan, the coup d'etat they were going to stage on the leaf that he had to stop, the ninja war that this could have started and caused around the entire shinobi world, and the ultimatum Danzo gave to him as young as 13 years old, the fact that all of this was to protect Sasuke and he didn't tell him nothing about it is crazy. He let Sasuke kill him for all of that, just for him to eventually find out this shinobi world just hold his brother. It was sad. Itachi was literally crying before he had to murk both his parents. They knew they were gonna die and they still sort of wanted Itachi to fall through with it. I know the guy didn't want to do this at all. Danzo is a bitch. He died for the sake of his little brother, to protect him, to make sure he gets to have a life and more choice than he ever did. And the whole shinobi system was literally just against the Uchiha clan. They were treated like shit, ostracized from other groups, and were even kept on the outskirts of Konoha to be monitored. They literally segregated them, and Itachi wiped out his clan so there wouldn't be a war, even though on their part, they're like 110% reasonable in wanting one. The Uchiha were treated terribly, man. It's like the Leaf Village has some Uncle Ruckus mindset to them. They didn't like them at all. They profiled them. Hiruzen did nothing. He did nothing as Hokage to help them. This guy was useless, bro. Couldn't even look after Naruto properly. Naruto was out here drinking expired milk because of this dickhead, man. He sucks. I can't even forget mentioning my goat Jiraiya too, bro. He did not want to run the ones with this guy. He jumped him like a bitch. He had Jiraiya moving like, I got jumped in LA by these pussy-ass niggas. He was wrong for this. Sasuke's mental state must have been cooked the minute Obito here revealed the truth to him. Because at this point, I couldn't imagine what was running through the guy's mind. Itachi even died with a smile on his face. His death was just so sad, man. But you know what else is sad? Did you know that everyone in Akame ga Kill gets packed? They all die. Besides Akame and one other person, the whole entire team of these men all get finished. They're killed. They get done now. Tatsumi, the guy you think is the main character, yeah, he dies. Another guy dies. A girl literally gets her head put on a spike. It's brutal, man. What is this? And the anime is only 24 episodes, bro. The majority of their team dies. It's actually vile. The fights are crazy too, man. It's just tragic. Ace's death from One Piece is definitely up there as well. The human shield sacrifice kind of death will always be sad. Him jumping in front of Luffy and taking a straight bang to the chest, becoming a donut, was so messed up. The whole time, everybody was coming over there to save him from execution anyway, and he still died? He still died? I couldn't even tell you, look, how happy I was when I witnessed Akainu getting whooped by Whitebeard. Because Lord knows I hate this guy, man. Flippin' Marines, man, they're literally just a pirate police. I hate these guys, man. I even held some anger toward Garp here. Because as angry as he was toward Akainu and was probably about to kill him, he was still gonna watch Ace die from his execution anyway. So did that even matter? The outcome could have been the same regardless of who would kill Ace. If the Whitebeard pirates and everyone else didn't come to save Ace, then he would have probably died by execution, which is what Garp expected anyway. So him having this kind of reaction toward Akainu, to me, kind of made no sense. He chose being a Marine over his family. I'm not saying he wouldn't have been angry and probably have a vendetta against whoever would have killed Ace, but he still would have fallen in line and kept being a Marine after. If Akainu didn't kill him, he still would have woken up as a member of the flipping pirate police anyway. You can be upset, but that doesn't change the fact that you would have stood with the side that murdered your adopted grandson anyway. What's wrong with you? Pirates are deemed criminals by Marines, but if we're being honest, it's barely that much pirate groups in One Piece. Besides Big Mom, Kaido, Blackbeard, Doflamingo, Gekko Moria, and a couple other more. I'm not gonna lie, that's a lot of pirate groups. But you compare them to the Straw Hats or the Whitebeard pirates, what the hell have they done to the world that's been deemed as evil? It's a stereotype. They're getting profiled. The Marines are debatably as corrupt as pirates. What is this shit? It's fake. But the deaths I've just brought up until this point are nothing to the last couple I have to mention. You see, ladies and gentlemen, anime, shows, and movies don't compare to the pure sadness, trauma, and heartache that are deaths in gaming. When it comes to gaming deaths, it's like you know the guy in and out. Pause. To the point where it's like you're alongside them after playing as them. It's like you're one and the same. And by the way, I will be spoiling some games heavy, so if you don't want to see any of this, just get the hell out of here, man. Like, Lee's death in The Walking Dead is actually depressing. It's not even funny. The way you look after Clementine the entire game, doing a bunch of shit together to survive, just for Lee to get bitten, save Clementine, fight a bunch of zombies, and Clementine in this moment was just a baby. She's a kid. And I genuinely hated when the choice came up and it was between shooting Lee or leaving him behind. And I hated when this shit came up, bro. When I was seeing this on screen, I was literally saying, cut his arm off. Why'd you take so long to cut his arm off? Saw it off, man. Do something. And even when they did that, it was too late. What? Clementine and Lee literally lost everyone. Lee had to kill his own brother and was about to go to prison for killing another guy. Clementine lost her parents and her family. All these men had at the time was each other. And you mean to tell me you're giving a 9-year-old the choice to kill her guardian? Oh no, bro. I was weeping in this shit, man. It's actually sad. The same way I had max level sympathy for these two, I had the same amount of heartbreak for Joel and Ellie in The Last of Us. Mind you, Joel before the zombie apocalypse lost his daughter. She died to a stupid military guy shooting her. So he was already messed up before anything else happened. Then Marlene asked him to do a favor to take Ellie to another Firefly base. And throughout the journey, they start bonding, getting closer. They link up with Tommy, Joel's brother, and Ellie and Joel build somewhat of a relationship close to whatever Joel had with his kid. They were inseparable. And this gonna be hella biased, but I don't care. Joel naturally wanted to protect Ellie after he found out they were going to kill her to make a cure, and him absolutely finessing all the Fireflies in the hospital is reasonable, broski. Bro, they're trying to murk a kid. Fuck all that. I have a 50-50 thinking process here. Because if Ellie died to make a cure, it could potentially help society come back and civilization may return. But let's cut this shit. How do we know that if Ellie were to die for a vaccine, that it would even work anyway? What if it failed? Then she dies for nothing. And on top of that, what guarantee do we have for society to go back to normal? It's not like it will go from the apocalypse back to the suburbs in 24 hours. It's probably still gonna be bad even if there was a vaccine. Maybe even get worse. People would probably mass produce and sell it for money, lacking any sort of morality in general, and the world might just become worse off than it was before a cure. And plus, you're asking Joel to let the person he's been this close with in like decades to leave her to die. What normal person would actually agree to that decision? Let me know, man, because that's weird. It only makes sense on why he reacted the way he did. I blame the Fireflies, bro. I'm delusional. If you just let Joel walk away with Ellie, it could have been sweet. But y'all tried to fight him and got soloed. That's on you. And the whole protection thing he did here didn't even work out for Joel in the long run. Because in the second game, Ellie did not like finding out this shit at all. Joel and Ellie had a rocky relationship up until the second game. Ellie didn't want anything to do with Joel. Like, you know how some teenagers are mad embarrassed by their parents? It was kind of like that. But you know, Joel hid the fact that he killed a bunch of Fireflies for Ellie. But it was for protection though. She doesn't understand. But in the second game, their whole relationship would change instantly. As Joel and Tommy help out a random group of people they stumbled across in a blizzard, it turns out these guys were looking for them to, you know, kill him. And as Ellie goes out of her way to save Joel, they pin Ellie down to the ground and make her watch as Abby, this flipping dickhead, clobber Joel to death. This inhumane, wretched, barbaric, stupid lady just killed Ellie's father figure in front of her. And I know what one of you is thinking. Oh, but Waves, you know the whole reason as to why Abby wanted to kill Joel anyway was because Joel killed her father in the first game? Listen to me, fam. Listen to me, big man thing, because it's important you focus here. You ready? Do I look like I give a fuck? Do I look like I give a fuck? Because I don't. Bun Abby, man. After playing through the whole second game, I still don't like her. I don't care how much missions you get to play as her in. She's still terrible. You don't give me a whole game dedicated to Joel and Ellie's whole relationship. Even playing as Joel the entire game. And then the next one, you throw me into play as Abby. For what? Sympathy. You want me to understand her? No! I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Ellie spent the whole game hunting her friends down and finished her crew off. They were a bunch of bombs as well. They had it coming, man. They're trash. The only person I felt bad for was the pregnant lady. That shit was a bit messed up. Besides that, the rest of these guys, they suck. And you mean to tell me, you mean to get me crazy over the fact that at the end of this game, Ellie loses everything. Not Abby because she got a kid to look after now, but Ellie. Ellie lost her girlfriend, her adopted kid, her friend died in the middle of Chicago, Tommy ain't there no more, Ellie lost her fingers in a fight against Abby, and you mean to tell me Ellie lost everything? That's some bullshit. You even learn by the end of the game that beside Ellie wanting revenge, the reason why she's so pressed to begin with isn't because she couldn't forgive Joel in time, but it was because she just forgave him for not talking about killing the entire hospital of fireflies. And like, I don't know what the time frame is, but he died close to that moment. So she barely had any time to try and forgive him. It's a lie, man. It's some bullshit. The ending was good. I'm not disputing that, but it was rigged. Ellie has nothing now. God knows what the hell she's gonna do for herself now. But I need to see Abby gone, bro. I still hate her, bro. She low-key sucks. Lee and Clementine, Joel and Ellie, and countless other relationships like this, to see one of them die is always sad as hell. But this one particular character that I have yet to mention has the saddest death and build up to it of all time. This man is truly one of the biggest figures to make anyone, and I mean anyone, who's played this game before cry. And the legend I'm referring to is none other than... There are no words in the English dictionary to describe how influential Arthur Morgan is. After I played RDR 2 for the first time, it made me want to be a better person. And I already consider myself a decent human being. But to see Arthur's story and his development, it made me want to do better entirely. It moved me, man. This guy, for how simple his story was, it almost had me ugly crying. I'm talking huge barrels of snot, ugly ass facial expressions, and cry my eyes out for a good 30 minutes. Because I don't understand to this day for how simple Arthur's journey was. Why was it so emotional? If you're unfamiliar with this legendary character, Arthur Morgan truly is the greatest video game character of all time. No one compares to him. Except Sonic, but they're completely different, so it's not the same thing. Arthur's story in Red Dead Redemption 2 is truly one for the history books. You get to embark on a journey playing as a man who's an outlaw, a criminal in a wild West America, and a part of a gang ran by the notorious outlaw himself, Dutch Van der Linde, alongside some other members, John Marston, Micah Bell, Hosea, Lenny. I remember Lenny because he's the only black guy there. And so many more people. It was essentially just their own community. And in the beginning of the game, Arthur is more aggressive and menacing. You're out here robbing people. You're claiming debts for broken houses. You're killing people mercilessly. And all in all, you're doing more bad things that fit in with your criminal persona. But then as you keep going through the game, you decide to change. After all the recklessness and horrendous actions the Dutch Van der Linde gang committed to so many people, eventually, Arthur gets diagnosed with tuberculosis, a disease in that time that was just incurable and would lead to the patient's death. And with him getting this revelation and new change to his life, Arthur decided to go and try to be a good person instead. He does a lot less criminal activities. He started to care more about other people. He tries to make amends with his girlfriend, and the letter she sends you in the game is so depressing, it's actually crazy. The debts you try to collect near the beginning of the games, instead you pay the family money to survive, and so much more things that makes Arthur redeem himself over time. And the most heartbreaking thing about this whole setup though, is that as you play as Arthur in like the last couple chapters of the game, you're just witnessing the guy get even more sick. His eyes bloodshot, coughing every scene, like you're watching him die, man. It was brutal. And also during the game, Arthur even tries to convince Dutch and Micah that they need to make amends and do better. And let me tell you something about these two wastes, man. In my whole YouTube career so far, I say this with my chest, bro. There are no more two people I hate than Dutch and Micah. This bitch ass Dutch only cares about money with his broadcast. That and his obsession to go to fucking Tahiti. Why was he trying to go every 5 seconds? Just broadcast a loser, man. And Micah just needs to go to the barbers, get a shape up with his ugly ass. He dead ass just looks racist, bro. Screw these two. John Marston? We love John Marston. He's the GOAT. He's as legendary as Arthur. We have nothing bad to say about him. But Dutch and Micah don't give a crap about anyone. Like, a lot of people in the gang died, and they show little to no sympathy about any of them. Sean, dead. Hosea, dead. Lenny died mid-game, which is horrible. And these two, they didn't care at all. They're trash. And whilst Arthur is still doing his good deeds and trying to become better, that time would unfortunately get cut quick. As Arthur would go ahead to save John's wife because she got kidnapped by the police, the Pinkertons, they told Arthur that Micah is a snitch. He ratted out on the gang. So when Arthur gets the girls to safety and eventually goes to confront Dutch and Micah on it, boom! Standoff. Michael's chatting a bunch of shit saying he did a snitch and tried to pin that shit on Arthur. Dutch was just clearly dick riding Micah and taking his side. And my GOAT himself, John Marston, joins. And that's kind of surprising considering that a few missions ago before this, Dutch left the guy to die. Screw you, man. The Pinkertons eventually find their hideout. Everyone gets into a shootout. And Arthur's main goal here is to just get John to safety so he can go live his life with his family. He helps him get up the mountain and then eventually tells him they have to part ways, with us witnessing the coldest scene of the game. Arthur giving John his hat. Oh my days, man, this was fire. I never took this show when I got it low-key. It's amazing. But right after this moment, I was crying. After John goes, you get to finally run the ones with Micah. And even though I was trying to beat his ass, beat it! Micah unfortunately won the fight. Arthur starts crawling as his tuberculosis is generally at its worst here, with him eventually seeing Dutch. And I'm gonna play this scene for you guys because it's genuinely heartbreaking, man. It's mental.
I gave you all I had. I did.
And then as soon as Arthur tells Dutch some people made it to safety, he leaves. Micah runs away like the bitch he is before the Pinkertons come. And Arthur? He crawls to the other side of the canyon, watching over the sunset as this beautiful dramatic music takes over. And you just realize he's passed away. And when I tell you, this had me deep in my whole life, bro. I couldn't believe it. I didn't know what to think of it here. I couldn't process it. It felt like I lost my own family in this moment. That's how close I go with Arthur while playing the game. I couldn't hack it at all. His death was so brutal, so hard to accept. It's crazy. I don't think anyone who's played Red Dead Redemption 2 hasn't been upset at his death. I'm telling you right now, like 95% of all people who watched this shit cried, bro. Believe me. And also a quick side note, if you like watching gaming videos, watch Jetro, okay? He's amazing. He's amazing, man. His videos are sick, man. Believe me. But this death, in my opinion, is the worst one to accept. It genuinely hurt my soul to see Arthur go, considering I picked all the good choices too, and him gradually getting weaker and weaker was so hard to witness every single time. I still don't believe it. It's not real. It's an illusion. It didn't happen. It's Arthur! And these are all the different characters I wanted to speak about today. And I know that there's a lot more I didn't speak about in this video. Like shit, I didn't even mention any Disney deaths. That's so sad. But if there's any particular ones you thought I should have spoken about, let me know in the comments down below, man. I love all you, man. I appreciate you all. And until next time, goodbye.